Hello, everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. In this video, we have Tyler Cameron's recent ex-girlfriend slamming him on a podcast, Sofia Franklyn's podcast, Sofia with an F. So I'm going to play that entire clip and we'll break it down. It's pretty interesting. She pretty much accuses Tyler Cameron of needing publicity and being calculated and all these things that, if true, would be pretty nefarious stuff. Now, again, you break up with somebody, you got to take what they say with a little bit of a grain of salt. We get mad, we lash out, we conflate, all those things happen. But Ref Dave will check this out and we'll see if it holds water. We'll get into the story in a second. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. A ton of new people thanks to my reel yesterday getting 500,000 views. I appreciate all the support out there. Thank you so much. And also, I've got a stand-up show tomorrow, 8 p.m. in Hollywood, California. Go to my Instagram, DNeals, to get show information. There'll be a link below in the comment section. If you want to buy tickets, use code word Dave. Patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes content. All right, so we're going to get into the story, but what's more fascinating is how... Oh, I got the wrong graphic pulled up. What's more fascinating is how great you guys have been when it comes to donating to our teachers. And today's teacher of the day is Mrs. Broadwell in Texas. She's a kindergarten teacher, and for as little as $5, $10, $25, whatever you want, you can donate. And the supplies will go to coloring her classroom with creativity, and we all need paints and posters and all those things to help inspire the kids. So thanks in advance for everyone who's going to help out. All right, so the most fascinating part of this story is what I'm going to lead with, okay? Because to me, the most fascinating part of this podcast is actually the podcasters. So I'm just going to recap this, and it's going to take me 2 or 3 minutes. So Sofia Franklyn started Call Her Daddy podcast with Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper's on the left, Sofia Franklyn. Call Her Daddy podcast became this giant, it was like the female Joe Rogan podcast. It was so big, and it was on the Barstool Network. Barstool owned the rights to the podcast and paid them bonuses. They were making around $400,000 a year. They had like a 2-year contract, and they had I think 6 to 12 months left on their contract. And again, some of this might be a little inaccurate, but I'm gonna tell you this from memory because it's so fascinating. Well, they decided to try to get out of their contract with Barstool, and Sofia Franklyn was dating a guy that was an HBO executive, and he was in her ear saying, we can get you so much money, you need to do this. Dave Portnoy, the CEO of Barstool, was like, no, you're in a contract, you have to stay here. You legally can't do the show somewhere else. We own the intellectual property. But what David Portnoy said was, if you guys stick around, I'll give you the IP and I'll just take merch sales, but you can own the show after this contract and do whatever the hell you want with it. Well, by that point, Sofia Franklyn on the right and Alex Cooper on the left had broken up and decided to go their separate ways. And when it came down to it, Alex Cooper said, hey, I'll take that deal. I'll take that deal. So when all was said and done, Alex Cooper retained the intellectual property for one of the biggest podcasts in the world, and Sofia Franklyn was left with nothing. I don't know if she's still with this HBO exec, but the fact that he tried to get them to break a contract is actually legally or ethically very, very shady. So now Sofia Franklyn has her own podcast, Sofia with an F, or P, or whatever the hell it's called, and it has a net worth of $1.5 million, which is like, wow, that's actually really good. Good for you. That's great. But Call Her Daddy was bought, or licensed, I should say, by Spotify for $60 million, which all goes to Alex Cooper. So in this sort of pitched for greed, one person was left with nothing, still worth $1 million, and the other received a $60 million deal from Spotify to license Call Her Daddy, which means when the deal's done with Spotify, she still owns the intellectual property. She can do anything with what she wants with it, plus all the ad revenue she's getting from this. She bought homes and Bentleys and apartments, and doing very well. Anyway, so that's the story of Call Her Daddy. It's very fast. I'd watch a documentary on it. Here's Sofia with an F, and this is her interview of Paige Lorenz after she broke up with Tyler Cameron.
Hire me.
Paige, please. Tyler Cameron.
That was a very sickening situation.
So, hold on. You guys dated, and then he randomly said...
By the way, you think my voice is annoying. I'm just saying, whoa! But they're making millions. Maybe I should talk like them.
Okay.
We broke up.
So, this is what happened. For being honest here.
Be honest.
I was just starting to slowly become less interested, and he felt the vibes.
Well, how'd you guys meet?
We met through friends, like at parties. We were going to all the same shit.
Okay.
Like we're at all the same events. He's like in New York, whatever. We have mutual friends.
Oh, sorry.
And I was on it. I was like, this man's a smoke show. Like this man's big and
Smoke
athletic
show.
and hot, and he respectfully like good looking dude. And this might sound narcissistic because he has a pretty insane following, but
I didn't hear what she said. Did she say artistic?
and this might sound narcissistic because he has a pretty insane following, but I felt like he was like using me.
Really?
I don't know. Like I felt like he wanted like some media storm.
Okay, best compliment ever.
No, but like,
No,
he even said to
actually,
me, like, dude, he was looking at my story views and I was getting more story views than him, and he was like, yo, like, he literally word for word said, like, I need a scandal. He was like, I need it, like, joking. But I was like,
Okay, so you're the shit.
All right, so, we might have a headline that says, I need a scandal, but even she admits he was joking. Everyone says that, oh yeah, I need a scandal, or I need I need some heat. Or maybe not everybody, but if it's in a joking way, not a big deal. But she says it in a very passive way. I feel like he was using me. All right, so no evidence so far, but that's okay. You're allowed to feel your feelings.
like, no. Like, I just think he knows, like, I just dated someone publicly. Like, we have, like, I have some, like, and I don't like that about myself, but like I do have some shit in the media about me. Like there is some like
neither do I, babe.
No, like it sucks, but like regardless, like there's a like conversation, especially around my relationships, and I think he saw an opportunity. Not that he didn't like me, but I think why he wanted to go public so fast is because he's like launching something soon. Like
well, you had just dated the biggest fucking country star in the world.
Who he's also like a fan of. So
I bet.
So, but like saying
he's like, can we play that while we fuck? So you guys dated. How long did you guys date?
Tyler,
a fucking week?
Like literally, I don't even count him as a boyfriend. Listen, I believe in dating and then boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Like respectfully, we were dating. So I was like obviously fizzling out. Like he was getting one word answers from me because I was just like not as into it anymore. And that happens. And it was distance. And like I'm just focused on me and like my career.
And you're listening to your country.
And I'm still listening to my ex-boyfriend.
All right, so she dated Morgan Wallen, right? So then Tyler's a fan of Morgan Wallen, and that she's still listening to his country. Are you allowed to listen? Listen, I know this might sound a little bit like I don't know, maybe a niche question here. Maybe this isn't that relatable, but if you dated a country music star and now you're dating a Bachelor star, is it rude to still play the country music star's music with the Bachelor star? Does anyone else relate to these questions?
At my apartment, and I just like was not into it, honestly, like not into it.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Great.
Was not into it, and he was just like, I felt bad kind of to end it, and I think I also was like trying to stay in it because he had posted me on his Instagram and we went public, and I was just not into it. And he was like, you're not giving like what I'm giving. He was like, I'm putting in all of me, and you're.
So he says he's putting in all of her. She's telling. I mean, whatever that means, we don't know. It adds up. So she said she was giving him one-word answers before they broke up. So she was already over him. So it kind of sounds like she dumped him.
Not even putting in like whatever.
A centimeter of it. And what'd you say?
And I was like, you're right. Like, I don't have it in me right now to like give you what you need. And like, we should respectfully like walk away from this. And then literally a day and a half later, he's talking to Pop Daily about like our breakup. And I'm like, I've been through so much shit in the media with my relationships. Like, you really didn't have to do that.
See, it was
Jank City. Like at that point, I was like, fuck, like you're really that guy.
You're really,
and I'm not trying to shit on him because I know like the media, like
no, I love him.
Daily Mail is gonna like pick this up and like take every word like that I'm saying, but it was just really weird because I was like, damn, like these feelings that I had, and I actually believe it wasn't malicious. Like I actually think he wasn't trying to hurt me because he still has a lot of respect for me. And like I saw him out at a bar a few weeks ago, and he was like, you have such a gift, like you're very talented, like all good, whatever. But he like definitely.
So I'm just going to pull this up here for a second. Here's the Daily Mail. So here's what Tyler actually said. Now, don't get me wrong. They asked him, all right? Because she's like, oh, he went on, she called it Pop Daily. He went on Daily Pop, whatever the hell it's called. And he was talking this. Here's what Tyler said. So we'll play this in
What's
a second.
the difference between
All right, we got an ad, then we'll play it. Oh, Dave, get the pop-up blogger. It's Daily Mail. You can't pop-up blog Daily Mail. What is this? Reality Steve's website? I'm kidding. We love it. Make your money, Steve. All right, so anyway, this is what Tyler Cameron had to say. You tell me if this was egregious.
Is buzzing about this cruise date that you went on with Paige Lorenz. It was posted on the gram. What's going on? Is it official? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I tell you what, Lonnie, it's we actually had to take a step back. It wasn't the right time. It wasn't good for us. So we're back kind of just, not dating anymore, just doing our own thing right now. But we both have tons of respect and love for each other, but just not the right time for both.
We had to take a step back. We have tons of love and respect for each other. Men these days, and the way they'll just slam women. Tyler, you have tons of respect and love for the lady who gave you the silent treatment and then broke up with you? How dare you, Tyler? You and your scandals, being asked a question and then answering it honestly with lots of love. Oh boy, I'm actually going to be honest because I actually think I like Paige Lorenz. I like her Instagram. She seems like a lot of fun, but this is it.
That's rubbish, Dave.
It's rubbish. It's a rubbish answer. As far as all we can see, that's all he said.
Was trying to stir up some shit and get some press about himself. Why else do you go to Daily Pop a day up?
Stir up. Oh, Tyler trying to stir up some shit by saying he loves and respects his ex, but they took a step back. Good grief.
After a breakup.
No.
You don't do that.
And if I had gone through a breakup and had to do an interview, I would have swerved the
No
question.
comment. How about no comment? Yeah, so I just was bummed because I'm working on in my life, I want to get press. It's just about me being me. Me as a human being, and that has
from your lens and your truth.
Yeah. And there are projects that I'm doing.
I want to get press from your lens and your truth. Okay, I'm just making fun of Sofia now. But hey, come on. This is ridiculous.
And cool shit that I'm doing, and I'm gonna make my own name for myself, but it just sucks because he knew that I was sensitive about the fact that me in the media is me and men, right? And I'm so much more than that. Cool.
If a man is involved in any way,
yeah, they
shape, or
blow
form,
it up. But he didn't need to do that. And that's why I made a comment, which I normally wouldn't do, and which obviously escalated it. And then people ran.
So she made a comment after telling him he should have not made a comment. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Articles on my comment, but I was that was weird as fuck. You didn't need to go to the media. We could have waited a few weeks.
The media came to him.
And had them figure it out. We didn't need to give them all of our cards.
Right.
This is weird and intrusive. And you didn't ask me. Okay, that's also my thing. When an article comes out, there can be a comment from both parties.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that was out there was his comment.
Why didn't you guys talk about?
I texted him after.
Hey, how should we approach?
No, he didn't do that. He just went to some sketchy ass whatever, and I texted him and I was like, "What was that?" And he was like, "I didn't do anything wrong." And I was like, "I didn't even respond." I was like, "Whatever." You obviously don't get it, and that's fine. But this is I shouldn't even be surprised.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's the deal, folks. Sometimes I listen to these things live with you guys. Sometimes I listen to them in advance. I didn't listen to this beforehand, so I'm coming into this as neutral as possible. Now, do I take the side of men because I'm a man and maybe I have got this empathy and grace and I see Tyler as, the inner child trying to work himself out. I don't see him as a bunch of, pectoral muscle. I see that too. I see that too. Trust me. You know what I mean? He's got the goods. But the point is I'm looking at this objectively and going, you have to understand, you dated a guy who was on The Bachelor. People ask him about his relationships. He said, we're taking a step back, but there's a lot of love and respect. That's the nicest thing you can say. Nothing in which Tyler commented would have led anyone to think that Paige Lorenz was sort of, I don't know, a bad person here. She's almost digging her own grave. Not that it's a big deal, but I'm just surprised because it's look, people, you're a good-looking person who's built your equity of Instagram following off of, being a lot of things, but one of which is your looks, just like Tyler did, because we know Tyler's personality is not something that, we know he's not attending poetry slams and, a debate class. He's good looking. That's the equity he's used. He's got 8-pack abs, right? Now, that doesn't mean there's not more to him. He wrote a book. He's very charitable, and I'm sure Paige has a ton to her. But Instagram's always been a visual medium, and that's like no one's looking at this going, all right, where can I buy that ice cream cone? Now, don't get me wrong. I want an ice cream cone, but it's not the thesis of the page. Anyway, do you guys get my thing here? I like her, and I'm sure there's more to the story. I've enjoyed following her social media. But in this 5-minute clip, I don't think her response here is warranted based on what he said to Daily Pop. I'd love to know what you guys think. Leave a comment. We got more coming your way. I'm going to be going live on Patreon, tell you what I really think. Patreon.com/Dave Neal. Catch me over there. I got to go get an ice cream cone now. I'm starving. All right, folks, we'll see you in a little bit. Link in the comment section if you want to donate to our teacher of the day, Mrs. Broadwell, and also buy tickets to my stand-up show in Los Angeles, California tomorrow, Saturday, 8 p.m. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.